This is Pod With Me.
Let's go again.
Losing weight is not easy, and according to the most recent behavioral risk factor surveillance system, adult obesity rates now exceed 35% in 9 states, 30% in 31 states, and 25% in 48 states. Mississippi and West Virginia have the highest adult obesity rate at 39.5%, and Colorado has the lowest at 23%. We're going to talk to someone that lost over 200 pounds. First, you are going to be surprised on how he lost the weight. And second, he's going to describe to us what it's like to be way over 450 pounds. The pod starts now.
You would notice the looks when you went into a restaurant or when you walked onto a plane. In essence, tried to make myself smaller when I saw people looking in my direction.
Alex, are you ready to pod? Hey, are you all ready to talk? Alex J. here.
Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's get a sound check. Ready.
This is Alex J. Aguiar, and you're listening to Pod With Me. I'm here with Michael Myers. Well, we don't want to say his real name, so we're going to call him Michael Myers. For now, it's one of his favorite movies. Is Halloween one of your favorite movies?
No.
It's not.
No.
Okay, but I'm still gonna call you Mikey. Okay, Mikey. All right, Mikey has lost. How many pounds have you lost, Mike?
200.
200 pounds. How much did you weigh?
450.
450. Now, everybody's probably thinking you lost it by doing...
Either a gastric bypass or a sleeve. A sleeve around the stomach, and it constricts the stomach to not allow you to overeat.
Did you look at these options before losing weight?
I actually did. I looked at, I came across an article considered the healthiest way to do it. And I looked at it, and I found it perplexing, if you will, because I didn't think that was actually the healthiest way to do it.
Oh, and I'm glad you did not do it. Just Googled it right now. And, some of the risks are blood clots in your legs. And over time, you may not absorb nutrients very well, and bleeding and infection. I mean, any surgery is risky, but this is too many side effects when, look at that, you found the power within you to actually do it on your own. Describe to us, what was your lifestyle before your change? Like, what would you eat? How many times a day would you eat?
What would I eat? Multiple bowls of cereal. A fast food meal. Like a value meal with add-ons, the Whopper meal, the Big Mac meal with the large size, and then I may have ordered an additional burger.
So a lot of carbs, sugar, fast foods.
Pretty much.
And your family members, would they tell you anything? Your parents?
They would say things, oh, maybe you shouldn't necessarily eat that. Maybe we should eat something else. There was never any negative commentary.
Being at 450 pounds, I mean, many people that are heavy or obese go through discrimination, and they feel the energy of people when they walk into a room. Maybe in school you were picked on. Tell us, did you have any of these situations?
You would notice the looks when you went into a restaurant or when you walked onto a plane. For that reason, I tried to block the stares or the attention, and in essence tried to make myself smaller when I saw people, or when I noticed people rather, looking in my direction.
So
because I thought that they more than likely were judging me.
And when you would walk into a plane, for example, and you had to go sit, did you feel the energy of the person next to you, or because they might think you were taking a broom or anything like that?
Yes. And it was in that particular case where I would always try to make myself smaller. And if I could, I would try to upgrade my ticket to a business class or first class seat in order to have more ample seating space. And by doing that, I wouldn't bother the person next to me. And then I wouldn't necessarily feel bothered by that feeling.
Got it. And in school, was it tough in school? Or did you have any bullying or anything because you were heavy, or any jokes that you felt that were being made?
Jokes were made. I wouldn't necessarily say that I was bullied because being bigger, I was also sizable to the point where I could defend myself. So it wasn't one of those things that the commentary would cross a line that I couldn't necessarily handle.
Was it hard for you to date when you were at 450 as to now?
Of course, yes. It was more difficult. Obviously, size was an issue. And
did you ever have someone that you were going out with and they will always tell you, don't eat this, don't eat, trying to control you?
No, I never had that. But I mean, in the process of losing weight, I've met more people that I would not have necessarily met.
So you feel like society accepted you more, and you it was easier to talk to people.
Sure, we can go ahead and say that.
How long did it take you to lose 200 pounds?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. And I want to know, what got into you? What did you feel? What made you go through it? And describe to us that process.
Well, when I started doing a little bit of the exercise, I just started noticing that my clothes started feeling a little looser.
But before you started exercising, what made you, what gave you that switch in your head to transform?
I really can't pinpoint a switch. It was just one of those things that I just decided one day that I was going to go and walk around my neighborhood. And by going out and walking, I noticed that I was walking farther than I even thought that I was going to. I wasn't necessarily feeling tired or exhausted by the effort that the walk was doing. And so I decided, let me do it the next day, and then the next day. And then pretty soon it became a pattern, which started or allowed me to start noticing certain changes. For example, my clothes started feeling a little looser, which gave me a little bit more of encouragement to continue doing so. And when I would go grocery shopping, instead of buying boxes of cereal because it was easy, I decided to maybe just buy eggs and whole wheat toast so that I can go ahead and change that and at least try to go ahead and minimize the sugar intake from the morning. And then as far as making changes for the rest of the meals, it created a domino effect that I started seeing and eventually helped me in the weight loss.
Those little changes was your motivation. It kept you going.
Once I saw those changes and the fact that there were some visible results or noticeable results, that in and of itself continued or had me continue.
Once you started losing all that weight, what was the reaction around you of your friends and family?
It's almost like they didn't know what to say. Then they were happy for me. I mean, it was one of those things that they were always happy for me at any size, but they're happier seeing me thinner.
And when you lose weight, you have extra amount of skin. You're fine with the way you are. Does it leave over time? Have you studied? Have you researched? How does that work now?
That's something that I will consider. I think I haven't really studied it. Can say that I have a certain level of loose skin. There's a level of looking in the mirror and seeing a different person and liking what I see versus what I could have seen before 200 pounds ago.
So you learned to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
You were motivated by the little amounts of weight you were losing and your clothes feeling lighter. Mm-hmm. You learned how to eat. You cut off many of the sugars and carbs. So you were adjusted to eating differently. You found a way of eating. Did you call it a diet, or you just found your a way of eating? Did you say you were dieting, or did you just find how to eat right?
No, I just found how to eat right. I didn't want to necessarily call it a diet because I always felt that people who did diet always spoke about it negatively.
All right. So what do you have to say to those people out there that are 500 pounds, 450 pounds, 300 pounds, that are heavy or obese and feel that they can never make it?
Walk out your front door and take a step. And you'll be able to see some sort of result that will make it easier to continue taking those extra steps.
What would you do if you ever saw yourself gaining weight again? Would you ever allow that to happen again?
I certainly hope not. But I think that if I started gaining weight, it would probably be easier to lose it, because I've already experienced the process of losing such a massive amount. And if I noticed that I was gaining weight, let's say I gained 10 pounds in comparison to 200 is certainly a small fraction that is much more doable, or easily doable in comparison.
If your 450 pound self was in front of you right now, what would you tell him?
I would tell them that who I am now is me and is you, and as a result, you can be me.
Ready.
For more on Pod With Me, you can go right now to your app stores and download Pod With Me. We have our very own app. And follow us on social media. On Facebook, we're Pod With Me AJA. On Instagram, we're Pod With Me. If you are in the Miami area and have something important to share and you want to do it on the pod, you can email me at alex@ajacreativemedia.com. That's alex@ajacreativemedia.com. Until next time, don't fall off the pod.
Ready.